Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God, and listen. Today we're talking about James Lee or Diego Kang DG and the weird and strange role he has in the story. So we're just gonna run it back a little bit, right? When you first meet DG or Diego Kang or James Lee, I'm just gonna call him James Lee for ease, but it's all the same goddamn person. But when we first met him initially, he was just like a superstar, and it seemed like Mr. Choi was using him to like make money through the K-pop industry, yada yada yada, and thus he was like a face, to kind of make the chairman's company, more popular, to the youth and to gain more money, garner more money. And they kind of used him to kind of get the attention of young ladies and get them to do stupid, crazy jobs and young kids to kind of like put them in positions where they can basically take all their money while propelling their careers and all types of, malarkey and crazy stuff. But we didn't really realize just how important he would be until much, much later on. But there was that meeting, right? This innocuous meeting between James Lee, Gu, and Gun. They were in like a bathtub, or not bathtub, it was a sauna or a steam room, and they were cool and they were having this conversation. And weirdly, at that time, it seemed like the whole time, Gunn never told any of them that he was actually in charge of the whole operation from the start. And Mr. Choi was just the front man of the business, but it was actually his goddamn empire. He was the one in charge. You know what I'm saying? But Mr. Choi was the one just spearheading it, right? Or the face of it, because Gunn wanted to kind of stay behind the scenes. Now, at the time they were having a conversation, Gu was already thinking of like leaving Mr. Choi, because he leaves Mr. Choi first, right? He was already thinking like he's kind of done with Mr. Choi. He feels like Mr. Choi is kind of using them, not knowing that actually the person using them was the guy right next to him in Gun, somebody he considers a great friend at that time, right? And all the way through until he almost died. He considered him a good friend, and to be fair, Gunn considered Gu a friend as well, but he already made his bed and he wanted to lay in it, right? And one of the reasons, because we're always wondering like why is Gunn staying with Mr. Choi, and we now know because Mr. Choi is the one staying with him. It's Gunn's operation, right? But at the time, James Lee actually said something really interesting. He was like, guys, you guys always like leave me out as if I'm, Mr. Choi's like a right-hand man, closest companion. But like, I also don't really mess with him that much. I eventually want to leave as well. And they kind of scoffed at him. Goose scoffed him like, man, stop chatting to us, bro. You ain't out in the fields like we out in the fields for real, bro. You know what I'm saying? We out here every day, beating up motherfuckers every day. You know what I'm saying? Left, right. You know what I'm saying? Smacking kids in the face. Come on, man. We doing this every day. You out there performing on stage, being a pop star, man. Get the out of here, bro. So that's basically was the situation. And then obviously we fast forward. And next thing we know, James Lee is kind of helping not Mr. Choi, he's helping Daniel and Cole trying to take down Mr. Choi. He's like, okay, it makes sense. He already said from way early on that he don't really mess with Mr. Choi like that, even though it kind of seemed like he might. We also discovered during this time that, his name was DG at the time, that his name was actually James Lee. And we heard about this legendary figure, James Lee, but we didn't put two and two together to say that James Lee is DG. Oh my God, because apparently the two bodies might come from James Lee type shit, you know what I'm saying? Because we now know what he was doing to them kings, man. He was whooping feet, man, left, right, center, every day, beating on these dudes. But apart from one guy, bro. There's one guy he didn't really want no smoke. The guy he didn't really want no smoke with was Jag Young, bro. You know what I'm saying? We'll get to that. He did not want no smoke with Jag Young, but why? Right? Why? They seem to know each other. They might be family members. We don't know. We'll get to that, but these are the secrets of James Lee, so we're trying to figure out, right? So one thing, I think there's a theory there. I think him and Jae-yeon must know each other from much earlier and somewhat must know each other's weaknesses, perhaps, in fighting, specifically. Because there's a flashback in the latest chapter where Jae-yeon and James Lee is standing together after obliterating somewhere, right? So they must have obviously did something together, worked together before James Lee met Mr. Choi. Before he joined up with Mr. Choi, right? And Jae-yeon stayed in the dark, in the shadows, and was the lazy king because he wasn't really out there trying to upbuild his status in his city and yada yada yada, right? But Jae-yeon was ready to fight James Lee, or maybe he was putting on airs, I don't know, but he was ready to fight James Lee, but James Lee was like, nah, And then in this chapter, we'll find out that James Lee fought him before. He says he was tricky. He was hard. That guy, nah, he's strong. That guy, when I fought him, like I never fought Gen Ron, right? I fought the other kings. I beat the other kings. I never fought Gen Ron. I fought Jaegyeon. And when I fought Jaegyeon, that motherfucker did something different, bro. I don't know. He got a secret. He uses kicks and shit, but there's something out there he be doing that's different, right? So that's the kind of, that's the thing that we find out about Jaegyeon there. And then we find out that, okay, Jaegyeon and James Lee knew each other before the leader of Changlong died. Or maybe after. I'm not too sure. It's hard to know the timeline here. So the pieces are kind of coming together. But we now know that James Lee and possibly Ki-tae Kim, both of them possibly, we know that James Lee was definitely involved, but him and Ki-tae Kim probably killed Gapyeong, right? And that's something that they did together. And now they orchestrated the death of Mr. Choi. Okay? So I feel like at some point in there, they decided that they will betray Mr. Choi. Because I suppose Mr. Choi was holding a lot of things against them. Right? And I think Ki-tae Kim probably left because now that he had killed Gapyeong Kim, that was held over him. I think they thought the plan was, okay, we do this deed and we all come up together. But I think Mr. Choi must have been like, oh, you guys did this thing. I have the proof he did this thing, so you guys got to work under me and do what I say, do my bidding. He let Ki-tae Kim kind of walk away because he was doing some other stuff, probably, dealing with the drug cartels out in Mexico, whatever, and probably sending money back and, you know what I'm saying? Doing what he got to do for the chairman and to bolster his level up, because the chairman wanted to become a government official type of person. He wanted to grow up and go up and so to have influence in the nation at large. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like some secrets about James Lee here. And then obviously we find out Daniel don't trust James Lee for real, because Jay's dad actually, warned Daniel like, yo, you're not looking at this shit correctly, bro. You looking at the person that's, kind of leading this, you looking at it wrong. You looking too directly at what people are telling you and not looking around at the pieces and really having a thorough look at what's happening here. And then obviously Jaegyeon betrays him and says he's joining Jinrang. But then he says he actually has a message from James Lee and he's telling Jinrang, listen, we're not really trying to fight you like this. Just give us Busan and we got plans for it, and you just get out of here. And then I was like, wait, why didn't he let me know this detail? Like, why is James Lee keeping all these secrets and not willing to give any information, but he's sending me around like a lap dog? And I suppose James Lee's thought process was probably that since I helped him defeat Mr. Choi and put Gun away, I eliminated two big, two big massive walls that was in his way. Since I've done that, he's going to trust me. But why would he trust you when you've done a horrible things that he ain't even find out about yet, right? Because remember, Jake is still gonna have to come back in the story and defeat James Lee. Ki-tae Kim, one of them dudes is they getting defeated by Jake because they killed his papa. So we gotta understand there's like a lot happening here, but we're garnering so much information about James Lee here. My theory is James Lee and Jaegyeon probably trained together when they were younger. James Lee was probably like his older brother type character. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were friends, like they were like little homies for real. James Lee, Jaegyeon probably always wanted to test himself with James to see if he's finally stronger than him. And James kind of probably been avoiding it, like, it's my little bro, like, you know what I'm saying? But he also knows like, yeah, shit, I ain't trying to lose for real. Like, this guy has this one trait that might work on me type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think they know each other and there's a deeper history there. And I don't know. It's just there's a lot of secrets in Lookism, and they gotta start goddamn unleashing some of these secrets, man. I've been reading this in 2013, bro. 2013. I've been reading this shit for 12 years. I still don't know the secret of the second body, bro. This shit like the One Piece, bro. God. But anyways, what you guys think? Let me know what you guys think about James Lee. Let me know what you think is his position, his role in the story. The second body and him, I think, are really connected. I think him going defeating all those guys and taking the body parts, I think they utilize that to actually make Daniel's perfect body. But then, where the hell does Crystal's perfect body come from? We have no idea. Crystal hasn't been in the story in hundreds of chapters almost, and she also has a second body. So, you know what I'm saying? PTJ, I know is kind of good at dragging shit out, but come on, man, we need to get to some conclusions. Anyways, let me know what you think. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.